They say pride comes before a fall. For me, it came before lice. I'm Walt Jenkins, 67, widower, and completely unprepared for what happened that Tuesday at Eddie's barber shop. Eddie had been cutting my hair for 43 years. Same routine every month, first Tuesday, 2:30 sharp, high and tight. But this time was different. Scalp's been itching for weeks, I told him, as he draped the cape around my shoulders. Tried everything. Eddie nodded, working his scissors with practiced precision. Then he stopped. His face went pale. "Jesus, Mary, and Joseph," he whispered. "Walt, you need to see this." In the mirror, I watched him part my hair with the comb. My scalp was crawling with tiny black specks. Lice. Hundreds of them. "That's impossible," I said. "I'm clean, Eddie." "This isn't about being clean," he replied, quietly. "But you need a doctor, today." I felt my face burn with shame. At 67, I thought I was past embarrassment. I was wrong. For the past year, I'd been working construction jobs to make ends meet. Margaret's cancer had wiped out our savings before she died 6 months ago. I'd been too proud to tell anyone, including my son Tim in Chicago, that I was broke. I'd also been too proud to admit I was lonely. Martha Wilson from church had been bringing me casseroles and keeping me company, but I kept telling myself we were just friends. The truth was, I was falling for her, and that terrified me. Now, sitting in Eddie's chair with lice in my hair, all my carefully constructed walls were crumbling. "How do I fix this?" I asked. "Prescription shampoo," Eddie said. "But Walt, you'll need to tell people. You're close contacts." The thought of calling Martha made my stomach turn. How do you tell a woman you care about that you're infested with parasites? I drove straight to Walmart, 15 miles away, where nobody knew me. The health aisle felt like a walk of shame. Lice shampoo, fine-tooth combs, rubber gloves. The self-checkout machine seemed to announce my purchase to the entire store. At home, I locked the door and got to work. 3 hours of shampooing, combing, and washing everything I owned. The lice were still there, along with thousands of tiny white eggs clinging to my hair. My phone buzzed. "Martha, still on for dinner tonight?" I stared at the screen. "Not feeling well. Rain check?" "I'll bring soup," she replied immediately. "Stomach bug. Contagious." Poor thing. "I'll check on you tomorrow." I'd lied to the woman I cared about most, just like I'd lied to Tim about being retired, just like I'd lied to everyone about being fine since Margaret died. The next morning brought worse news. Dr. Thompson confirmed what I already knew: severe head lice infestation. One of the worst adult cases she'd seen. "Where do you think you got them?" she asked. "Work site. We share hard hats sometimes." She prescribed stronger medication and gave me the lecture I was dreading. "You'll need to notify your close contacts." "How long until I'm clear?" 2 treatments, 7 days apart. No shortcuts, Walter. My grandson's 8th birthday was in 10 days. I couldn't miss it, but I couldn't risk infecting Tim's family either. Driving home, my phone rang. Tim. "Dad, just confirming your visit. Emily's so excited." "About that," I started. "Might be a day late. Work stuff." "I thought you were retired." Silence stretched between us. Another lie exposed. "Consulting," I said, finally. "Pension wasn't enough after your mother's medical bills." "Dad, why didn't you tell me?" "I'm managing." But I wasn't managing. I was drowning in lies, shame, and loneliness. That evening, Eddie showed up at my door with a pharmacy bag. "I know you're in there," he called. "Truck's outside." I let him in, reluctantly. He surveyed the chaos. Wrapped pillows, bottles of treatment everywhere, bedding piled high. "Any luck?" he asked. "The eggs won't budge." Eddie placed a prescription tube on my table. "Dr. Thompson called this in. 43 years of friendship, Walt. You think I'd let you fight this alone?" For the first time in months, I felt something crack inside my chest. "I've made a mess, Eddie." Yeah, but messes can be cleaned up." He told me about his own daughter's battles with lice, how he and his wife handled it quietly, practically, like a health issue, not a scandal. "What are you really afraid of?" he asked. Martha walking away? Tim thinking less of me? All of it. "If Martha had lice, would you think less of her?" Of course not. I'd want to help. Exactly. Before I could respond, the doorbell rang. Martha stood on my porch, casserole in hand, determination in her eyes. Eddie let her in before I could protest. She took one look at the scene and understood immediately. Head lice, I said, unable to meet her eyes. Is that all? She laughed. Well, I raised 3 kids and taught elementary school for 32 years. This isn't new to me. She rolled up her sleeves and got to work, gently examining my scalp, helping me apply the medication properly. Why didn't you tell me? She asked. I was ashamed. Grown men don't get lice. They absolutely do, especially on job sites. My ex-husband brought them home from his construction crew twice. As she worked, I told her everything. About the job, the money troubles, the loneliness, the fear of being judged. I'm not looking for perfect, Walt, she said softly. I had perfect once. It nearly suffocated me. 3 days later, another surprise. Tim, his wife Sarah, and Emily showed up unannounced. Grandpa, Emily squealed, hugging me tight. Emily's school closed for plumbing issues, Tim explained. Thought we'd extend the birthday weekend. Sarah, a nurse, quickly assessed the situation. Within an hour, she'd checked everyone. Emily had an active infestation, too. Looks like we're twins now, Grandpa. Emily grinned, not bothered in the slightest. We'll treat everyone and celebrate the birthday right here, Sarah decided. Tim pulled me aside later. Are you happy, Dad? It was the first real question he'd asked me in years. I'm getting there, I said honestly. We talked for hours that night, about money, pride, and the walls I'd built since his mother died, about how he'd worried about me but didn't know how to help. Mom used to translate for you, he said. She was your bridge to the world. I haven't made it easy. We're both stubborn, but maybe that's changing. The birthday party was perfect. Martha had transformed my sterile house into something warm and welcoming. The yard filled with laughter, streamers fluttering in the breeze. As we watched Emily blow out her candles, Tim made an offer. A consulting job with his Chicago firm. Better pay, flexible schedule, and most importantly, respect for what I brought to the table. We'd see you more, Sarah added. Emily would love it. It wasn't charity. It was family. Later, as the sun set and guests began to leave, Martha and I sat on the deck. Penny for your thoughts, she asked. Good things come from unexpected places, I said. Even head lice. Her laugh lit up the evening. Tim approached us as we gathered plates. You two make a good team. We survived lice together, Martha said with a grin. That's got to count for something. Could you stay? I asked her as the others went inside. I mean, really stay? Walt Jenkins, are you asking me to spend the night with your family here? I guess I am. I'm done hiding. Her smile was answer enough. Inside, my house echoed with laughter and conversation. For the first time in months, it felt alive again. Those tiny parasites had done what pride couldn't allow. They'd broken down my walls, reconnected me with my son, and opened my heart to love again. Sometimes the smallest creatures teach the biggest lessons. The lesson wasn't about lice treatment or hygiene. It was about the courage to be vulnerable, to ask for help, to let people see you at your worst. Real strength isn't weathering the storm alone. It's opening the door when someone knocks, even when you're not ready for company. I learned that pride can be more destructive than any parasite. But love, real love, isn't deterred by a little chaos. It rolls up its sleeves and gets to work. Martha was right. We weren't looking for perfect. We were looking for real. And sometimes, real comes with lice.